Thanks for hearing from my channel. Please like, subscribe and support us if you feel interested. Empowerment Arc Chapter 19 Return to the village. We were joined by Riguru and the others at the entrance of the forest. A total of 5 days were spent on the journey. But, it's still within my estimate. Although we met many problems along the way, the main purpose of the journey was achieved. On that note, I didn't see an adventurers guild in that city. Shame, I wanted to take a look at the Freedom Association. Wanted to see if any of their members are world travelers, but I doubt there are. Also, the incident in the Dwarf Kingdom has sadly prevented me from further research on handiwork and armor. Well, it can't be helped. But, I was satisfied with my new comrades. And, we earned 20 gold coins. Really struck gold right there, literally. I introduced Kaijin's group to Riguru and the rest, and they exchanged greetings. Since they'll be working together from now on, I want them to get along. Come to think of it, the dwarfs seem less prone to discrimination. Perhaps it has to do with the fact that they are, themselves, a half-magical race. Well, there was a problem at the beginning of our return to the village. Ranga was waving his tail happily around me. However, when I told him to carry 2 of the 3 brothers, his joyful expression quickly turned sour, and he took a step back. Then, while staring at the duo, he added, "Will it be worse off if those 2 idiots get left behind?" With a look full of intent to swallow them whole. Which, of course, terrified the dwarfs. To begin with, when they first saw Ranga, gee. What is that? That's how surprised they were. Was that the start of one of their performances? I don't really get it, but maybe there is something amusing about it. Wah. Wait, Ranga. I'm just planning to mimic the black wolf to check its abilities. That's why I want to leave the 2 dwarves to you. Hearing my words, he stood upright as if at attention, and acknowledged, "My lord." And he thus consented. Kaijin and the eldest brother Garm will get on my back. The middle brother Dold and the youngest Mildo are on Ranga's. To ensure their safety, I tied them to Ranga with sticky thread. After all, in a world with no motorcycles, traveling at 80 km per hour would certainly be a terrifying experience. I don't know if it's possible to run that fast, and I don't have any intention to be going that fast. Next, it's my turn. Mimicry. Black Storm Star Wolf, Tempest Start Wolf. As the mimicry finished, I transformed. Amazing. As expected of a master. Foo ha ha. Even so. Work hard to evolve into this form. I responded to Ranga with praise. I will strive to live up to your expectations. With a new goal in mind, Ranga's eyes were shining bright. The other storm-fanged wolves were all just as excited. Everyone being motivated is surely a good thing. Then, I glance over to Kaijin's group. There's foam coming out of their mouth. They fainted? That old man. What the hell are they doing? Oh well. Time to put my daily practice to use. I use sticky thread on my back. I slowly manipulate the thread to tie up Kaijin's group, and success. This way, we can continue carrying Kaijin's group even while they're fainted. Thus, we depart. As a side note, I think it's a good thing that Kaijin's group had fainted. If we don't take this slowly, at a speed of 100 km per hour, they could faint from the initial acceleration. The 2 siblings on Ranga's back, Mildo and Dold, however, seem to endure well. Never mind. That's the rumored, fainting with your eyes open, skill, huh? I offer my condolences. The return journey was going smoothly, primarily because the dwarves had fainted. It's probably better for them to faint instead of biting their tongues. In fact, imagine yourself in their position. Wouldn't it be unpleasant to wake up to another terrifying experience? Instead, isn't it best to let them sleep with those happy faces? Well, I'll wake them up for meals. I know, I'm a bad person, lol. Come to think of it. Oi, Riguru. Have you succeeded at summoning your black wolf yet? Although it brings me great shame, there has been no progress, Fumu. Even Riguru can't do it. The other goblins are also frustrated. The wolves, as well. So, only Gobuta? So only that Gobuta succeeded? What? Gobuta, is that true? Yes. I called and he came. Hearing those words, the other goblins and black wolves' eyes lit up in determination. But, that can't be. Gobuta is the kind of guy to walk to and from the Dwarf Kingdom on foot. Come to think of it, he's right. You'd think he's just a fool. But, I guess he's the type of guy that can do it when it matters. Well, Gobuta is a fool, but that certainly doesn't mean he's incompetent. Come to think of it, he made a 4-month journey on foot alone while scavenging for food. If he were weak, I doubt he could have done it. Thus, my mental evaluation of Gobut arose. Well, sooner or later it will drop. When the night comes, we take a break. I'm not tired at all, but the others need a break. While everyone rests, I'll try out some abilities. The physical abilities of the Black Storm Star Wolf, Tempest Star Wolf, are really high. I could feel the power gushing out. When I kick the ground lightly, I instantly leap into the air, and gallop through the air. Combined with my reaction speed, I can probably bring out its full potential. To begin with, most of my battles to date ended with Waterblade, and the enemy were decapitated. Since strength and agility are important factors in a fight, this is a pretty good development. Enough to say that I am satisfied with the Tempest Star Wolf's combat ability. From what I imitated with Great Sage, while mimicking the Black Wolf, I can instantly kill the Black Snake. Without any special abilities. I received an explanation on ranks in the town. The lizard was a rank B. Via the simulation ability of the Great Sage, one could approximate the rank of other monsters. The Black Snake would never reach a rank, but, being able to defeat 10 centipedes, one could rank it as A. Similarly, a normal, not mimicked, Black Stormstar Wolf is stronger than a Black Snake, but a fight against 10 of them would be impossible. No, wait, there's that ominous, Black Lightning, skill. My instincts scream that it's dangerous. And yet, I return to being a slime, and try it out. The result, Pika tilde su. Chudo, n. Fu fu fu. My test target, a big boulder on the riverside, crumbled to dust. Thus, I decided that I should absolutely never use this skill again. So, I didn't do anything. A lightning just hit there for no reason. Let's go with that. There was another such skill, the Black Snake, Noxious Breath. I shall also seal it. At least, until I can properly adjust the output. Especially since it uses a lot of magic power. And, if not adjusted carefully, there's a high chance of hitting friendly. That is, more than its power, the range was also phenomenal. Surrounding the boulder, an area of about 20 meters (65 feet) was turned into glass by the temperature. Riguru and others rushed over asking if anything was wrong. Woo! A lightning hit right in front of me. How surprising. Is how I deceived them. Seems like the lightning disturbed their rest, making me feel guilty. From now on, any dangerous experiments must be carried out in some secret location. Oh well, I got the data. The simulation in my brain resumed. With Black Lightning, even if it is not my version of it, the Black Wolf can probably win against 10 Black Snakes. Thus, it may actually be the case that the Black Stormstar Wolf, Tempest Star Wolf, holds power beyond that of an A-rank. A-rank monsters, by themselves, can devastate a small city and are thus appointed disaster level. Therefore, I should refrain from mimicking the Black Wolf near a city. And thus, my research continues till dawn. The next morning. The dwarves wake up with their faces still pale. Are they okay? Are you guys okay? Where are we? As their consciousness become clearer, they were puzzled due to the unfamiliar scenery around them. I immediately told them that we were traveling towards the goblin village. What did you say? For a 2-month journey like this, we need to procure a carriage and food from some nearby town. Well, it's far too late to be surprised what to say. Let's ignore it. Well, if you think about it. It's hard for a normal person to understand the distance we had already traveled. We aren't in a rush. So, I take the time to explain our situation to the dwarves. As for Riguru and the group, they are making food. Goblins cook in one way, they roast. That's fine for now. I have no taste buds, after all. However, when I do obtain them, I should beat good cooking techniques into them. Can the goblins get used to cultured life? Whether it will happen or not, I do not know. But, I plan to try out various ideas. It'd be bad if they can't properly cook. While eating breakfast, we discussed future plans. I explained to them that we were bound to arrive at the village in 2 days. Impasse? The dwarfs was not convinced. Thus, we resumed our journey. Along the way, we conversed using thought transmission. The dwarfs can also use it, which saves us some trouble. Thought transmission is an improvement over basic telepathy, as it is stronger, allows a larger network, can be used during other maneuvers, and has a range of about a kilometer. On the second sprint, the dwarfs cling to our backs without fainting. Seems like they properly prepared themselves beforehand. Since the wind pressure forced them to keep their eyes closed, I made a thin membrane with my thread to protect their eyes. Surprisingly, it works. I can finally manipulate it to some extent with just thought. This much is possible when you get used to manipulating magic essence. While moving on the road, I ask the dwarfs to teach us about some common knowledge. While the dwarf is talking, the goblins excitedly listen. Then, we adding our common knowledge from what we hear, then the conversation turns lively. I feel relieved because they become more familiar with each other. In this state, they will get along just fine in the village. The dwarf or the goblin, the origin is the same. The long-lived half-fairy dwarf. The short-lived half-demon goblin. The difference was only in the course of evolution. But, the goblins rather said it evolution, would it be degenerate? In other words, the goblin can be said to be the monster version of the dwarf. The goblin can evolve to hobgoblin, but after evolution, it seems it extend the lifespan. Well, it not just that, but that was one of the differences between demon race and fairy race. Even in the same half-fairy races, dwarfs are closer to the demons rather than the elves. Maybe that's the reason, they able become accustomed without discomfort with others once they get used to it. Having suddenly remembered something, I decided to ask, Kaijin, I know it's already too late to ask, but is it okay? To have said those things to the dwarf king, didn't you admire him? Oh, about that. I do admire him. There isn't a single dwarf who doesn't. Who wouldn't admire a hero king that looks like he had come out of some fairy tale? Certainly. Heroes from fairy tales come out only in bedtime stories. This hero, however, is alive and well, supporting and protecting his people as their king. Thus, it is exactly as he said, everyone respects and admires him. And, everyone would surely want to be useful to such a king. Do I have the resolution to do the same? I became the goblin's master by pure chance. But, how should I proceed from now on? It's fine. No doubt about it. That's the kind of myself that I wish to become. Hey, Kaijin, why have you decided to follow me? If you think about it, is it far better for you to return to the king's service? Upon hearing this question, this is how Kaijin answered. Ha 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 ha. Dana, TL note. Can mean master, but I left it in Romaji, is surprisingly tactful. Why? Because it seemed interesting. That's what my instincts told me. This guy can do anything. And that was it. Don't you think it's a fine why? A fine reason, huh? No doubt about it. Fumu, you better not complain later. I was famous for working my subordinates are hard, you know. Anyways, when there's something I can't do, I want others to help me. I want to rely on others. But, if you need my help, I'll see it through. Even if it was hard, this is what I truly desire inside. I know. I nodded with satisfaction at his response. 2 days later, we arrived at the village. Our objective was achieved. We returned to the village. Author's note. Since there was no change in the status, I removed it. Thanks for hearing from my channel. Please like, subscribe and support us if you feel interested.